So I'm on set of. It's not even released yet. Canal Street. We got about a year.
Next year.
Right. And
Giovanni Watson.
Watson.
Amen.
You're new to the scene, Giovanni.
Not really.
No?
Nah.
Okay. Check me.
Nah. Well, you know, I professionally toured and danced for a lot of major artists for like 10 years.
Really?
That's one thing me and my brother Woody the Great has in common. Okay. We both did Chris Brown together tour, and I did Beyonce, Will.i.am, Tamar Braxton dancing. But the acting has always been there. You know, I've been in the acting scene since I was in kindergarten, played Martin Luther King. So, you know, I was in Restored Me, which came out last year. Okay. Which is on Hulu right now. I was the lead, and then you know I'm in Tales from the Crypt remake, the movie that comes out this month on Netflix in April, and Canal Street next year, and then I have a lot of other offers that's on the table right now. So really? Glory be to God. Yes. Yes.
And you said you're from Gary, Indiana.
Gary, Indiana, born and raised all my life. So Glen Park.
Because you know Gary's pretty rough.
Super rough, and I'm light skinned with green eyes.
Okay.
You know, so it was hard, extra hard for me.
You know how the light skinned people get it.
But my grandma raised me since I was 3 days old.
Okay.
You know, my mother passed when she was 49. I was 21. But prior to that, my grandma would raise me all my life, and she instilled a certain thing in me. And I had a lot of pastors prophesied over me saying, yo, you're called for this and that and this. And the past 3 years, everything's been coming to fruition.
Okay.
So I had to get up out of there. I got out of there when I was 17. My first tour, I was on tour with B2K at 17, dancing.
Did you start though getting into some trouble and thug life, or
you know what? You know what? I thank God for that. I went through a rebellion stage where I just was I was mad. I didn't have a dad. I didn't have a mom. And I remember like it happened yesterday. I went to a party. I was like a sophomore in high school, and I went to the senior party. And then I went to another party, and my grandma said, no, come home. My spirit telling me, I'm like, no, I'm going to this party. Long story short, you know, car ended up getting shot at. And the police come and say, yo, whoever was sitting right here, this little piece of metal saved your life, and it was me.
Wow.
And ever since then, like I feel like God blessed me with the spirit of discernment, and I've been out of trouble's way, you know, and I just been on that straight and narrow.
Now, how did you go from, you know, Gary, Indiana to then dancing for Chris Brown? Like,
my sister, her name is Jessica. She was an artist, up and coming artist in Chicago, and a guy by the name of Roland Roro Tabor, who was choreographing for Aaliyah, danced for MC Hammer out in L.A. He was out here in Chicago choreographing for her, and I was dancing, just doing it for fun. He was like, yo, whenever you're in L.A., holla at me. Unbeknownst to me and him, a month or two later, I was in L.A., went to my first audition for a major artist, B2K, and I booked it.
Wow.
And then that translated to all the other artists years and years later, which I retired last year, 2016, with Chris Brown.
Wow. How is, you know, dancing on the road and being a part of this life? I mean, you have to feel blessed.
Blessed and sad at the same time. I'm not going to lie. I'm not perfect.
Right.
You know, touring and dance with artists like Chris or Will.i.am and Tamar Braxton.
It's a wild life.
It's a wild life. You know, different girl every night. If they can't get to the artists, they come to the dancers.
Yeah.
I thank God, out of all that, I still never did drugs. No hard drugs, just alcohol
weed.
and hookah.
Okay.
I love hookah.
Oh, do you?
Even as a walker and believer in faith, I still love hookah. But I never did hard drugs because I lost my mom to hard drugs, and I said I would never do it.
Oh, okay. So that kind of keeps you grounded.
Yeah, it keeps me grounded a lot.
What keeps you humble?
My daughter.
Oh.
I have a 14-year-old daughter named
Really?
Catalina. She's my everything. She saved my life.
How?
You know what? You know, she taught me patience. Because raising a girl, especially a popular, biracial, beautiful girl, you know, it takes a lot out of a man. And, you know, what the saying is, God gives certain men daughters. I'm not gonna lie, I was a thought, but
at least you admit it.
Oh yeah, he humbled me with my daughter.
Okay,
and she saved my life, and I do everything for her, not even myself anymore. Because if it had been for myself, I would have been gave up years and years ago. Okay, years and years ago.
Let's talk about Canal Street.
Yes, let's talk about it.
What's your role on here?
I play LaShawn. You see the grill.
I know.
LaShawn.
So that's not a regular thing, the grill.
No, I had this grill.
This is just for the role.
I live in California now, so I had this grill.
Show the grill. Okay.
Shout out to Blue Moon Company in L.A., Los Angeles, California. Let me get a sip.
Yeah, sip on up.
Shout out CBD Fusion. water,
Are
by
they
the way.
sponsoring this interview?
One of them, CBD Fusion. I thought it stood for Chris Brown Dancer, but it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
I had this.
Right,
No. I had this grill about 3 months prior to filming because it's hard talking with this.
I know. I interviewed Ro James, and he's
Love him.
Oh my God,
Amazing artist.
Isn't he amazing?
Amazing artist.
I love him.
Mm-hmm.
But we were talking, and then he was like, "Hold on one second.
Let me take it out.
Let me take this out because it's hard to talk with it."
Yeah.
So I've never had.
So I had it in my mouth for about 3 months prior, and to get into the mindset of LaShawn, and having the grill was actually my idea. When Ryan Lamar, who's an amazing director who had directed Restored Me, he sent me the script. I did my background work on the character, and I said, you know what? I feel like this dude need a grill. You know, so I got a grill. Shout out to Blue Moon Company. They sponsored the grill, and then I just been training my mouth and my speech to be able to articulate with the grill. And LaShawn, man, he's the older brother of the two, Coley and May May. Okay. You know, he's a street hustler, hence hustler. Thug life. He's into that life. He's like the father figure.
Now, are these aren't real tattoos?
No. Shout out to Nazim.
Okay, this looks real.
This is all. This is.
You kind of scared me.
Yeah.
Real
No,
quick.
man. I'm a thug, but I'm a thug for the Lord.
Right.
You feel me? Blood of Christ, homie. That's what I tell them in L.A.
So this is all.
This is all fabricated.
Right.
This is all fabricated
for the role.
For the role.
For the role.
And you know, I was like, yo, I'm too pretty to be a thug, man. Give me a scar through the face.
Yeah.
Or something. Ain't nobody gonna take me serious.
Right.
I'm too pretty. And they was like, no, because LaShawn's a guy that, you know, he's a thug. He can push weight and drugs at night, but he can wear a suit in the morning and go to corporate. But he's the older brother of the two. He makes sure he tries to keep them out of trouble because that's what he does. So he wants to make sure that they don't go down the lane he went.
What was the most challenging thing that you had to do for this role? Besides, you know, the grill. Anything else emotionally?
Man, there's so many brothers in the world that's in the system that's falsely accused and falsely incriminated for crimes they didn't commit. So the scene that I literally just finished, before you came and blessed us with your presence, I had to be interrogated for something I didn't do, nor my friend didn't do. But to be in a position where they're telling you, no, we know you or your friend did this, when you know they didn't or you didn't do it, I think that's the hardest thing ever.
Have you ever been to jail? Because
Yes.
we're in a jail right now, and
Yes.
I don't like this feeling.
It's too clean, but it's clean.
But it's just, it's too stark. There's nothing on the walls. I mean, you know what I mean?
Have I been to jail? I've been to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't like it.
Yeah,
I would never go back to jail again.
Is there anyone that's going to say, sign me? Well, maybe people.
It's a lot of
say, "Sign
homeless
me
people.
up
It's a
for
lot of
jail."
homeless people that purposely do crimes to go to jail because it's free housing.
Yeah, that's
But yes,
true.
I've been to jail, and
Is this movie, you know, something that you can relate to? Having been to jail?
I mean, just falsely incriminated. I mean, I went
Yeah.
to jail for a whole nother crime, you know, that I'm not going to talk about. But it was enough for me to realize, like, the real, true definition of being false. When your character's been driven and dragged through the mud based off something you did. It's nothing that's going to, you know, it's nothing that's like, oh, my God, he's a drug dealer or a murderer. But, you know, in the state of California, even though I'm from Gary, the littlest thing, oh, man, you will get a felony for it.
Wow.
And I've been through that situation, and I think God is getting me through it. I've been going through that, and I've been paying my dues for it. And I can relate to that, and I hate it.
What message would you like your character to give to others?
You know, I like a lot of people to really watch LaShawn and be like, yo, I can relate to him, or I know somebody like him. LaShawn's a thug, hence, per se. He's a hustler. But one thing is, when I was creating the background story on this character was, why is he selling drugs? Why is he selling weed? Why is he selling cocaine? He got a family to feed. A lot of people, like me being from Gary, Indiana, or Chicago, they do these things knowing that's not what their heart wants to do, but they have to do it. The city and the system don't play. Brother, you got a felony. We're not going to give you a 9 to 5. You in the system, brother, you can't go get a legal job. But by all means necessary, I need to sell. I need to provide for my child or my grandmother, my sister, my family. So I'm going to go ahead and push this little weight. But I know ultimately that's not what my soul and my heart wants to do. That's LaShawn. he has a good heart. And I think LaShawn, honestly, is one of those people that will make it to heaven because his heart isn't in that. He's just doing it to get by so he can provide for his family.
Well, I'm interested to see the whole movie,
Yeah.
the documentary or movie or film, and
All-
see your
it's all of that.
all of that,
Mhm.
and see your character because it sounds very interesting.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
you're going to love it. It's a great body of work.
Yes.
To have names like, I just shot a film with John Cena.
I know.
I
interviewed his co-host the other day, Joel Carter.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is OG. Selena. Like, come on. I just was in makeup and wardrobe with Michael T. Williams.
Right.
Like, his brother just was up for an Oscar.
Yeah.
Rose, you in the book. I seen you, Rose. Troy, you in there too. We was in big old biscuits. Like, beasts.
Yeah.
You're beasts. Come on, man. Like, Michael Beach, Mekhi Phifer, Chris Spencer.
A lot of big names.
You know, Woody the Great, who just came off New Edition playing Bobby Brown, and Brashear Gray. You know, to see him outside of Hakeem,
right,
of Empire, to see him being a vulnerable character, it's a great body of work.
Yes. What are you working on next?
Tales from the Crypt, the movie, which is on Netflix. Well, it's supposed to be coming out on Netflix this month, but it's with David Allen Greer, Tamala Jones,
I interviewed him
myself, Chris Kattan, Rusty Cundiff, Darren Scott. It's a huge one from the same directors and writers of Tales from the Hood.
Is it going to be like a comedy? Because David Allen Greer, he's
anything he's in there.
Yeah.
You know, it's if you remember Tales from the Hood.
Yes, I do.
It's from the directors and writer of that.
Okay.
And then you can see me in Restore Me as lead on Hulu. And then I'm up for a lot of big things that I can't. And Kinky. I'm in Kinky alongside Vivica Fox that comes out this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Kinky.
Yeah. So I play Pastor Gates, a great, good-looking pastor. They're bringing them to the altar, but also bringing them somewhere else. But but it's this is gonna be a good year for me, and there's some other things that I can't even talk about because once you sign that, you can't talk about it. But God has really blessed me this year.
Well,
2017.
Congratulations with all your success.
Thank you, love.
And I appreciate you talking to me. I love seeing people from around the way
doing
big things. So do it. Give me a high five.
Give me some, girl. I see that little eyeliner over there. I see you, girl.
So yeah, it was great talking to you, Giovanni.
Yo, let me just do this.
What
Shout out Nekia Nichelle from Chicago now, coming and blessing us with her presence, that eyeliner, that mascara, that pancake tin, the weave. I know it's sewed in, it's tight, it ain't slipped. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Canal Street.
If I was a little lighter, I'd be red right now.
That's okay.
That was your color.
That's okay.
Oh,
Thank you.
Don't forget about the little people when you finally get your Oscar.
Listen, man, as long as God is my savior, man, one thing my grandma came to say, my grandma raised me since I was 3 days old. Her and my daughter, they keep me humble.
Okay.
I make sure I give everybody love and respect.
And you'll
on the
give
set.
us an interview once you get big, like.
After we call cut, you gonna get my number, my email, all that.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Well, great talking to you. Thank you so much. Giovanni.
Thank you. Hola.